If wedding planning is absolutely taking over your life, something needs to change and it needs to be done quickly. Hello everyone, my name is Grace and I am from Budget Wedding Stories, where we help couples like you have incredible memories for affordable prices. Now, I am someone who planned and executed my entire wedding in 7 weeks. I had a 7-week engagement from proposal to the wedding day. And I want to give a couple of tips and tricks and mindset shifts that helped me be able to get everything done and get to the finish line without having a massive mentee bee. Because if you are like some of our couples, you may be having a very short timeline to your wedding day, or maybe wedding planning is just taking over your life and you kind of need to get on top of things and get a little bit out of the wedding headspace. One important thing that I would really encourage you to remember is, as stressful as it is and as financially draining as it is and as tedious as it is, this is going to be one of those times that you look back on with very wonderful fondness. So as much as you can, please try and enjoy this season. Please have some fun. Please don't take yourself too seriously. Please don't spend too many nights crying and stressing out at 3 a.m. But here's a couple of tips and tricks so that we can get back in control of our lives while wedding planning. So, number 1, I want you to let go of the expectation that you have to meet or phone or talk with every single vendor or person that's going to be, or supplier that's going to be involved in your wedding day. Some suppliers are professionals and you don't actually have to give them that much oversight. Now, I understand if you're a little bit more in the budget wedding sphere like I was, you will want to have a bit more of an oversight and make sure things are really clearly articulated so that everyone knows what they're doing, because they're a little bit more inclined to things going off the rails, so to speak. But also be aware of the fact that you don't have the bandwidth to be able to meet with everyone. And if you, for say, had to meet with your top 3 suppliers for every single little item of your wedding day, that's a lot of wasted time and energy that could be invested into after the wedding day, or not going crazy. So I give you permission to let go of the expectation that you need to meet with everybody. Maybe 1 or 2 essential vendors. I would probably say your photographer, maybe meet with or have a call with. That's totally up to you though. I have probably booked hundreds of couples who I've never talked to aside from a text or an email until their actual wedding day, if we're being completely honest. And maybe your planner, if you're having a planner. And depending on how high-key your venue is, that might be someone else to meet with. Everyone else, honestly, can just be communicated with via text or email. And I'm going to be completely honest, most vendors actually prefer it. They actually prefer things in writing to be able to check back with, be easily articulated. It's tough to record phone calls and stuff like that because who knows what was said unless it's transcribed or recorded. So this actually may be working in your favor. On top of that, if you are working full time, how are you going to be able to get the time to be able to call these people? Let's be real. And then that means wedding planning is taking over your entire weekend, and we do not want that. The weekend is time to rest and relax and get other things done other than wedding planning. So I think that's important to remember, and that actually leads into the next point, my next little tip that I want to say. Allocate 1 hour. If you are crazy for wedding planning, even if you're super busy, and even if you're like me and you have a very short time, maybe even 30 days, an entire wedding can get planned in 1 hour a day. I promise you it can be done, and I pretty much did it even less than that. Allocate 1 hour a day, maybe in the evening or maybe super early before everyone gets up, where you send out emails, inquiries to vendors, where you follow up on people about them DIYing stuff for your wedding day, where you reorganize your budget and your spreadsheets and you track all your expenses. Just allocate 1 hour, set a timer, don't do any more. As soon as you finish, make a note of where you are and drop it. Leave it. Compartmentalize it. It's to be thought about later. If you think of things that you need to do throughout the day, write it down in a note in your phone, and then when that hour comes, then you can reopen it and get it going. But just 1 hour. Don't let it spread into all parts of your day. It will naturally. People know that you're engaged and they'll want to talk about it. They'll want to talk about the wedding. They'll want to talk about this wonderful supplier that they knew. Okay, thank you so much. Can you send me their details? What are their details? Take a screenshot. It's for the hour. It's for the wedding hour. Let's call it the wedding hour. Deal with it later. Do not let wedding planning take over your life. Set firm boundaries with yourself. Please, I beg of you. And that's a part of the reason why letting go of the expectations of being able to meet, consult, and call every single vendor is really important, because you only have so much time. You only have so much time. Number 3, slow and steady wins the race. You know the old tortoise and the hare story. The slow and steady one wins the race. Focus on consistency rather than sharp, really productive peaks, because these peaks will burn you out, and the short and steady are more likely to get you consistent results. That's why I recommend allocating 1 hour. And look, thinking about it, it doesn't even have to be 1 hour. It can be 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day, you check your emails, you smash out, you see what else you can tick off, and then you can close it, compartmentalize it. It's for tomorrow. But yeah, I would focus on slow and steady consistency over very sharp, big wedding weekend plannings. Really, because suppliers take time to get back to you. They're not going to get back instantly, if we're being completely honest. A lot of suppliers are family-owned businesses at best, often just solo run. They only have so many hours in the week to do admin work, so they're not going to respond to you on the day of your weekend. Most likely they're probably going to be on a wedding, and admin is going to be for 10:30 a.m. on a Monday instead. So that's why I'd recommend small bits of consistency rather than massive focus peaks. And into this, what an awesome world we have, where we have so much AI at our disposal. I'd be utilizing ChatGPT to make you lists and sub-lists, get it to make you Excel documents and spreadsheets. Pretty much I would say one of the prompts that I would put in would be something along the lines of, make me a list of supplies that I need for my wedding day in the format of an Excel spreadsheet. I want several stages, options for multiple vendors, and whether or not I've inquired. I want a section for I want their name, a column for their name. I want a column for their website. I want a column for the package that I'm most interested in. I want a column to tick off if I've inquired, if I've given them all my details, or if I'm waiting on anything from them. If I've said that I want to book, because this is important, a lot of vendors will have multiple stages of booking. If I've said that I wanted to book, if I've signed a contract, if I've paid a deposit or a booking fee, and if I am fully locked in. Because most vendors will not consider you booked in until you have a contract, a deposit, and pretty much the affirmation that yes, I am booked in. I've had several brides come to me, unfortunately, and gone, hey, so for my wedding next week, and I'm like, your wedding next week when? And they're like, yeah, because we're booked in, right? And it's like, no, you haven't signed a contract. You haven't paid anything towards your wedding day. You haven't even accepted the quote that I sent. What are you talking about? And we've made it work and stuff like that. But just be aware of the fact that make sure that you're fully booked in with a vendor before relaxing in that particular area of the wedding planning, because otherwise you might have a little bit of last minute stress that could have very easily been avoided with a quick email. And I guess that factors into tip 4. Track updates clearly. Have folders, have checklists, have spreadsheets dedicated to this And like I said before, in an age of AI, we have no excuse for messy organization. Simply chuck a prompt in, hey, can you sort this out? And you'll be unlocked to a whole new world of wedding planning, which will make it so much easier. And you don't have to buy spreadsheets off of Etsy. As cute as they are, you get to skip those nowadays. I give you permission to avoid the $12 planning spreadsheet. Please, you are fine with a Word doc. It's totally okay. Especially if you're a budget bride. That $12 could be going towards a drinks package on your honeymoon. Please consider that instead. Number 5, we are aiming for good, not perfect. Let's be brutally honest, your wedding day will not be perfect, but let's get it as good and as close to the vision as possible. Please let go of the ideal of perfection. It is wonderful to have, but it is entirely unrealistic. And I've probably only seen it work out for maybe one bride in the hundreds of weddings that I've done. And I think that was more because she just had a bit of a que sera attitude rather than it actually being too down to planning astuteness, etc. Your wedding day, something is going to go wrong. You need to just be mentally prepared for that, and please do not let it crush your entire day. But a thing that can really help toward it is just being content with this idea of it being good, not perfect. So a vendor has a package that suits 90% of your needs, go with them. Do not overplan. Do not waste another 5, 6, 10, 20 hours looking for other vendors that might potentially only to go with them later and maybe to probably tick them off in the process because you kept stringing them along. Aim for good, not perfect. If it hits maybe even just 2/3 of your needs, call it good, let's go. You have to be content with the fact that yes, there may have been more perfect options if I had spent another 30 hours researching, but on top of that, you would have lost that 30 hours and that energy that could have been invested elsewhere into planning for the life ahead rather than just your wedding day. Good, not perfect. Remembering that there will be no sign in the sky saying, yes, this is the perfect vendor for your wedding day. This is the perfect venue. This is the perfect cake flower design. This is the perfect dress. You're not going to get any of that. It's really just up to what you vibe with, what you like, and what you can afford. And if it fits most of those things, then go for it. Call it. It's done. Let's keep moving forward. Let's get another thing ticked off. Once again, enjoy it. Enjoy the season of planning. Embrace it. It's a lot of fun. Remember, you're going to look back on these days fondly, so make some memories. Go sign up for some extra dancing classes or do some YouTube dances in your living room. Organize something fun for some of the guests there. But at the end of the day, please do not let this overwhelm your life because that will end up being a lot more of a disappointing day than just turning up in the park and having a celebrant and some fun. Anyway, that's all from now. I hope to see you in the next video. Let me know if this helped and let me know if I missed anything down below. I would love to hear your wisdom and your planning ideas. And I'll see you in the next video.